ready?
Let's make a beginning.
We are.
Prayer followed by the pledge. Father God, we look to you today. We're mindful and thankful for the blessings you've showered upon us in our county. We pray for wisdom today as we make decisions. Those that affect our constituents, we pray for wisdom. Be with those that wear a badge, a uniform, that keep us safe. We pray you would watch over them and their families. Add to this prayer, we pray in Christ's name.
Amen.
Amen.
I
pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
It's on. Okay. Welcome. For our first item of business was to approve the minutes of a regular session and executive session.
Motion to approve.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
0. Okay. Payroll number 5, calendar year 2019 totals $229,200.68. We had 167 claims in the amount of $146,548.64.
Motion to approve payroll claims.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
3-0. Okay. All right. Scott gave us some information. He
left early.
left early, but
Right.
what was it?
You have
117 inmates,
12 of 6.
12 F6, and 7 DOC.
And we'll just move to Josh.
Morning.
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 Last week, removed all our winter equipment off of all of our trucks, so we started grading gravel roads. At the end of last week, there's still a little frost in them, but we're doing the best we can. With that in mind, those that live on gravel roads, it takes more than one time down them for them to be smooth. So be patient and relax as usual. On that note, those that live on gravel roads, dust control, first meeting in April, will accept that bid for the dust day. So thereafter, they'll start getting their postcards and the advertised rate for that for this year. And then they can come in and sign up. So that will be happening in April, mid-April. Been busy looking at small structures. Nate and I put a list together of small structures that we'll be replacing this summer. I'm working more with the schools to try to do it in the off time of the school so it doesn't interfere bus routes and such with closing schools, closing roads. So we're working on that. Backhoe work just through the winter, fall, and now the spring with some of the rains and stuff. A lot of things are showing their problems. So our backhoe notes are piling up. So we'll probably have our backhoe out in the next 2 to 4 weeks. Is kind of our plan, and try to get that stuff straightened out. And those will continue to show up as spring rain comes, but we have plenty to do now, so we want to get jumped on that. One thing that's not on here, road conversions, the roads that we picked for this year, working with some utilities on some of the sections. Jared's laying them out for us, so hopefully here, once we get our gravel roads up to par with grading, that'll be, our graders will be kind of all hands on deck on those roads, so we can kind of get a jump start so we're not pushing into late fall like we were last year. Sure. So with all that said, I can't say it enough, just bear with us on gravel roads. I know I sound like a broken record, but the calls keep coming and the same message keeps being relayed, so can't say it enough.
Yep. Appreciate
Thank
that.
you.
Yep. Thanks, Josh. Yep. Nate, we have you up next.
Good morning.
Morning.
Go through my list here. You have actually in front of you 2 different proposals, one from a Yarger Engineering and another from USI Consulting regarding some road study around Rockford and the Rock Creek Stone Quarry. The Rock Creek Stone Quarry has actually initiated this, So we had actually talked to the different firms as far as studying the traffic counts in and out of the quarry around the neighborhood, near our Bridge 106 project that's coming up. The quarry is looking at different aspects as far as what the impacts they're having on the roads and what the future development looks like for them. And to do that, so that that doesn't cost the county money, they've actually initiated this and have made a verbal commitment to reimburse the county for the project. So based on that, I would like to recommend Yarger Engineering, but before we sign the agreement, I would like to have an agreement essentially signed by the Stone Street Quarry that they would reimburse the county. So that would be kind of my recommendation at this point, is that if they come in and sign, then just simply authorize Blake to sign the agreement at that time, if we want to move forward with it at all. Certainly that would be something for you to consider.
Well, the whole question is whether the commissioners are in favor of the project in its start.
Correct.
But we know this
Without-
needs to be done.
Without this, you don't
Without
have any information. So
consideration.
essentially, as long as they're understanding of that, I think that they are, but certainly with that, I'd like to have them make that agreement. Essentially,
I
that's
think that
something
would
that they
be
need to have.
absolutely be a necessity. If we are going to do this, they pay to reimburse, no matter whatever the outlook or the outcome might be.
And there was a $10,000 study, and then Yarger came in with a quote of $4,000, and they were going to video. So it was actually going to be a little better information for us overall. So similar studies, similar scopes. It'd give us a very good feel as far as what the impacts are and where traffic's going. We wouldn't do the study certainly in like April. We want to get them during the busier time of the year for the quarry so we get a better counts essentially. So we'd be waiting till June to do any sort of analysis. So there's certainly plenty of time
We don't want
to get
act on
signatures.
it
Why don't we just table it until you
Get the
a
signature?
and then we'll
All
approve
right.
it later.
Well, then I'll work with Roy on trying to get an agreement drafted and try to get something signed by the quarry.
Good.
All right.
Thank you.
I'll
We'll
just
bring
bring
this
it up
back
to the next
at our
meeting.
April first meeting.
Perfect. Hey, thank you. Had just a quick update on our federal award for the County Home Road and 450 East. Had an early coordination meeting last Friday with NDOT, and by the end of the day, we have our RFP out on NDOT's website. So we'll be getting letters of intent from different consulting firms for the project. So I'll keep you posted. Those are due from the consultants on April 18th. So after that, I'll start to issue those different packets to each of you for scoring the projects, or consultants. Item number 3, which Blake, you've got a draft agreement there. With results of the NDOT federal aid, since we didn't receive federal aid money for Bridge 304, and based on NDOT's comments, we're not going to be eligible for federal aid, I'm taking a different tack with that project. But it's my understanding that there'll be upcoming federal aid calls maybe later this year even. So I'm trying to tailor different projects that I think are eligible in the bridge projects, and the funds from the Cume Bridge account would be ideal. So I'm looking at projects that we could fund through that. 2 of them are Bridges 200 and Bridge 54. Bridge 200's the County Road 300 north over the Wabash River, just west of State Road 116. And Bridge 54 is carrying County Road 600 west over the Salamone River, just north of 900 south. Those 2 projects are eligible for federal aid rehab money based on their current sufficiency. So that was essentially the sticking point with the state with 304.
Right.
So I'm looking at those 2 to kind of get those 2 projects at the same position I was with 304, eligible for federal aid, get all the analysis, cost estimates, time frame, and the like. I'd like to do a similar study, and that would be a $10,000 study. If USI had done the others, they've done the asset management plan, or the asset management plans and the National Bridge Inspection Surveys. Looking to fund this through the added bridge account that we have.
I'd make a motion to accept that proposal from USI.
Second.
Required just my signature.
I believe so, yes.
Looks like it's signed.
All in favor?
Aye.
3-0.
Thank you. Utility permits, I have a permit application from Craigville Telephone, Adams Wells Internet for a utility infrastructure expansion on 450 East, I think it was 300 North there. There's quite a few maps along with that. You had just seen it, part of it with the Drainage Board meeting this morning, so I just need to, I'm recommending approval and proceeding with the project. I would just need the Commissioner's signature.
All of us.
Yes.
Okay, motion to approve utility permits.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
3-0.
Just an update on my schedule. I'm looking at doing the PACER ratings. We'll need to do the PACER review and ratings of the roads for the county and updates of the asset management plan. I'll be starting to do that this April. Just need to, with the assistance of Josh and the crews, I usually steal somebody for a number of different days to go drive all the roads. So we'll start doing that in April, hopefully get an updates on all the different road sections for the year. So just kind of an update for you on that. And then the last item I have is something that came from the Regional Sewer District's last meeting, is asking for permission to work with IT to get a page on the county website dedicated for the Regional Sewer District. Essentially posting the minutes, the board members, the meeting schedule, so essentially just an informational portal through IT of the county sewer district. That's been done from a number of other counties as a utility department versus them trying to go out and do something separate.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
3-0. Absolutely.
All right, I'll work with Roger to get something put together. Hopefully this year we can get something posted. So,
Excellent.
all right.
Thanks, Nate.
Hey, no, thank you very much.
We do have a right-of-way in connection with a minor subdivision from Rose Elizabeth Baumgartner for the commissioners to accept.
Motion to accept right away.
Second. Aye.
3-0. Just one copy, right, Roy?
Yep.
Jared. What's up?
Morning.
Yes, sir.
Sign it.
Thank you. Oh, am I keeping those? I will send them back through.
This week is normally Flood Safety Awareness Week. Typically, we don't have snow on the ground, but as that snow melts, and as you well know, it does tend to cause some flooding. Here, kind of on behalf of my office and as a member of the Maumee River Basin Commission, just a couple of facts about flooding. Typically, about 25% of flood damage claims come from outside of an area that's determined to be a flood zone. That's typically caused because of flash flooding. And about 50% of fatalities that occur because of flooding involve somebody either driving or walking into flood waters. So flood water is typically very dangerous. About 6 inches of water can take a person off their feet. 2 feet of water would take a full-size SUV and float it downstream. So just asking that Wells County declare that this week is Flood Safety Awareness Week. That's it.
Okay. Motion to proclaim this as Flood Safety Awareness Week in Wells County.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
3-0.
Jared.
Okay, thank you.
Mr. President, if I may have the floor just for a moment, I'd like to just mention to everyone in the audience, I mentioned this earlier at the Drainage Board meeting, but having just attended Purdue Road School that's every year, I was really honored to know that I serve with Jared Hahn and Nate Rumschlag, because individuals that I'm associated with in various capacities, engineers, surveyors, and commissioners, these gentlemen come highly recommended to Wells County, to us as commissioners, and it makes us all very proud to know that we serve with them, and I wanted everyone to know that when I walk through the halls and they come up and talk to me about these guys, we've really got something special here. What I'd also like to mention is that Jared Hahn has been elected as the president of the Indiana Surveyors Association, and I will be fortunate enough to serve on a couple different association boards with him for the next year. So I'd just like everyone to know that. Thank you, guys.
We've got some good guys working in the county for us. We appreciate it. Blake, we have you next.
Good morning. How's everyone doing this morning?
Good, thank you.
Thank you.
Well, it's that time of year again for us to renew the grant with the Department of Corrections. There's no new money offers this year from DOC. We're maintaining the grant level at the current level as submitted the last 3, 4 years, 5 years. Unfortunately, I'm not seeing any increases probably coming for the next couple funding cycles just because of the uncertainty of the prison population. Last week, the Commissioner of DOC did send out a letter to the Budget Committee outlining his concerns and their problems. The 75% calculation for the F5 and above felons are now eroding all the space savings they had with the F6s that were put back to localities. And by next summer, he's predicting they will be out of beds at DOC again. So I'm not sure how that's going to impact everyone or all of us in the local level, except they may be asking us to take more back this way, unfortunately. Other than that, I just have a letter for the board reviewed the grant last week in the board meeting. I had a lot of edit points. I thank all my board members who diligently went through and got the red pens out. I felt like I was back in college and high school again, where they were marking up my term paper. And we're putting all those changes in for the final draft. This year we are doing an electronic grant process with DOC. This is kind of an interesting, this is the first time they've ever done this. Thursday after the close of business day, they sent us out an alert that there was an equation problem in the spreadsheets for the Excel, and they're going to hopefully get us a fix for that today or tomorrow so we can go back and make sure everything is aligning how it's supposed to in the budgetary section. So that's the nature of electronic grants in this day and age.
Paperless.
Paperless.
Not painless, though.
Not painless.
Don't even need a signature.
No. An electronic signature now.
Exactly.
That's a whole new thing for me too, because I'm used to, like everyone else, of doing and now the new electronic signatures are a whole. I'm a little old school.
It's fast.
Yeah, it's fast. Any questions?
No, thank you
No.
very much.
I just need to have you sign a letter that the advisory board's reviewed and that you guys approve of us submitting again for the next year.
Motion to approve of the advisory board recommendation for the grant.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
0.
There you go.
Thanks.
Thanks. All right. You too.
Appreciate it. Thank you. All right. Takes us to property conveyance.
Okay, I've drafted and circulated among you a resolution by the commissioners pertaining to the approval and conveyance of real property to Wells County Revitalization. This is the property in question is the former Hideaway Restaurant. It's presently owned by the City of Bluffton. City of Bluffton cannot give real estate to revitalization, but the county can. So the city is requesting the county accept a transfer of this real estate from the city to the county, and then in turn, the county convey it for no consideration to Wells County Revitalization. So I've been drafting and exchanged reviews with the city attorney for substantially similar resolutions. So I've seen and shared with you what the city's going to pass, and I've prepared a resolution as well as a deed to convey to revitalization this property.
So is this all one motion, accepting and conveying all at once?
I think if you adopt the resolution approves the conveyance. So
Okay.
you do
So
the
motion-
resolution and then sign the deed.
So adopt the resolution and then...
I need a resolution number.
I'm sorry, was that a motion?
Yes.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
3-0.
Lisa to sign.
Yep, that's just the deed. What else do we have? I think anything goes to the executive session documents that may be signed up with
With that, after talking with you, I've made a drawing. Did that drawing cover what you were talking about? If that drawing's accurate, and then I changed the language of the legal in both the offer and the resolution. So I think the next step would be for the commissioners to present that resolution to the county council at its next meeting. As well as, once council adopts that resolution, to decide upon the appraisers that you want to select.
We'll do that at the first meeting.
Yeah.
Do you have anything else, Lisa, for us commissioners?
I don't.
I've said my piece.
It was deserving of it.
It was a good week. There's over 3,000 individuals at Road School, and that has increased in the past 10 years from a 1,500 total. So it's doubled in 10 years. It's very well attended. So it's informative. Right, Nate?
Yeah. And outside your PACER rating and everything, we're staying current. You meet the qualifications that are required from the state for attaching money from.
We don't want to stumble. And your comments are appreciated.
You're welcome. And I also might add that our highway superintendent, Josh Cotton, was also in attendance, and I'm sure you gathered lots of information amongst your peers, as seems to be the case. A lot of times you get more, sometimes just going between classes in the hallway than sometimes the classes bring, but it's just nature of the beast.
Jessica, any questions? Wide open for the audience. Any questions? Hearing none.
Motion adjourned.
Second.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Kevin, what was the odds of your saying both their parents in the same meeting?
What's that?
The odds of you running into their parents at the same meeting?
Oh.
Yeah, right.